welcome to Cooking with Mama Bear. I'm your host, Mama Bear. Today we're going to be making quiche. Before you start cooking, you need to go ask your parent or guardian, can you cook in the kitchen? Once they say yes, then you can begin. So first things first, let's go wash our hands. For the ingredients, we will need 3 eggs, a cup and a half of half and half, or you can use whole milk or whipping cream, just a thicker kind of milk. Then you're going to need 2 cups of cheese, and we're going to use cheddar and mozzarella today. You'll need about a cup of meat if you want to use meat. You can use bacon or sausage. Today we'll use bacon. You'll need 1 pie crust and a cutting board. Then you will also need some cooking spray, black pepper, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. You'll need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of flour. You'll need 1/4 of a cup of onions. We're going to use green onion and yellow onion. You'll need about 1/3 of a cup of spinach. It can be fresh or frozen. And our tools will be a whisk, or if you don't have one at home, you can use a fork. Some scissors, a mixing bowl, and then a pie tin, or I'm going to use this bigger flat, it's like a baking dish. Okay, first we're going to do is we're going to spray our pan. So I like to shake this a little bit, and then I'm going to spray in a circular motion to get all the way around the edge and then in the middle. This will help your crust or your quiche not to stick. Next, I'm going to take out a piece of crust, and I am going to cut open my package, and I'm just going to lay the crust flat. If this was a pie pan, then I could roll up the sides. So I'm going to gently open this up, and I'm going to unroll it, and then I'm going to lay it down. Okay, so, ooh, that fits beautifully. So again, if it was a pie shell or a pie pan, it would be a little smaller, and then the edges would come up, and then we could like crimp it around the edge. But we're just gonna leave it flat because it's easier and it's faster. So next we'll put tin foil on here so it doesn't burn. We're gonna put it, if you guys notice, there's a shiny side and a dull side to your tin foil, or aluminum foil. So we're gonna put it shiny side down. And it can just loosely sit on top of there, and then we're going to put it in the oven for 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to start with the spinach, and because I chose to use fresh spinach, this is what it looks like. This is baby spinach, but it has this little stem on here, so I'm going to cut that off. So I'm going to cut it off and then throw it in my little trash can. So now when you have your spinach, you can just take it, and you just want to, I just layer them on top of each other. And then I'm going to just chop them in little strips. It's nothing fancy. I'm just cutting across. And they're, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch. So it's just so, oh, that looks pretty good. I'm also going to cut these in half. Or I should say in thirds. Okay, yeah, this looks good. So we are going to fill this 1/3 cup up with the chopped up spinach. Right. Okay, it sounds like the pie crust is done. Well, the first round. So after it's been in the oven 5 minutes, then you take it out. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. And I'm just going to take the tin foil off. And you bake it for 5 more minutes with the tin foil off. So I'm gently just going to take the tin foil off. It still looks really pale. I'm going to close this tin foil over here. Set the timer for another 5 minutes, and then everything's ready to go into the oven. Okay, so back to my spinach. So I'm just gonna chop this one more time. There's some big pieces in there, so I did 1/4. Okay, my spinach is ready. Yes. Okay, and it's coming out of the dish, or out of the measuring cup. That's okay. Okay, next we're gonna do onion, and I will need 1/4 of my onion. So I have these, they're called kitchen shears. And what I did is this is what a green onion looks like, and then this is like a typical regular yellow onion. So we're gonna see if I have enough green onion to fill up the 1/4 cup, then I don't need to use any of the yellow onion. So I'm just gonna start here at the top, and I've rinsed this already, and I am just going to cut across. See how it makes cute little circles? So we're gonna use this. At the top of the green onion, it's a lighter, delicate onion flavor. When you get down here to the base, it gets a more stronger, pungent onion flavor. Now I love onions, so I'm hoping I can get down to the base. Okay, let's see. You know what I should have done is cut right into the measuring cup, but that's okay. So let's see, how are we coming so far? Okay, almost there. Okay, yes, now I'm gonna get smart and cut right over the measuring cup so we can see how much more we have to go. Ooh, I'm gonna get down to the stronger part, which I like. But when you cook with onion, it turns, the heat will help it turn into a more mellow flavor. Okay, first what we're gonna do is I just have like a dish towel, and if it's wet or damp, not like dripping wet, but damp, you can put it under your bowl, and that'll help your bowl not to slide around on your table. It just adds some more stability. Even though this bowl has a built-in like silicone ring on here or bottom, so it helps it not to, so it helps to stabilize on the table. But I'm just showing you guys, this is what you can do with a regular flat or a regular bowl. First, we're going to start with our eggs. So I have my little trash can here, so I'm not dripping stuff across the floor. So I'm going to start with my egg. You want to start with your eggs, so if you get shells in there, it's easier to get them out, because once you put other stuff in, it is hard to dig the shells out. So I am going to carefully put my egg in there. There's one egg. There's two. Here's our third egg. Okay, good. And then I have my little paper towel because I knew I'd get something on my on my fingers. Okay, next we are going to do 1.5 cups of you could do heavy whipping cream and or whole milk, but today I have half and half. So I need to go to the 1 cup line, so I'm going to lay it on a flat surface. I'm going to pour until I get to the 1 cup line. And I just want to remind you guys that you want to go, when you think you're there, you're going to go down, squat down at eye level to make sure that you have enough. And I do. So there's my 1 cup, but I also need a 1/2 cup as well. So I'm going to pour to the 1/2 line. And I'm going to check at eye level. Ooh, I need just a tiny bit more. Yes. Okay, now that we've done that, what I want to do is break up the egg yolks and the egg whites in there and mix it well with the 1/2 and 1/2, or the cream or the milk that you're using. And again, I would use whole milk. So I'm just beating up my egg. If you don't have one of these whisks at home, you can always use a fork. So I try to show you guys the professional way and then the ghetto way, or improvising. Okay, this looks pretty good. It's a nice light yellow. So I am going to put my whisk on the side. Put it in this bowl. Is that gonna fall? Okay. Then we're gonna add our spinach. So that's 1/3 cup. I'm just gonna put that in. And then we're gonna put in our onion, and that's 1/4 cup. And then we're going to put in our bacon that I chopped up. It's not quite a cup, but that's fine. It should be a cup, but that's totally fine. That was about 6 slices of bacon, and I probably should have used 8. Next, we're going to have a mixture of mozzarella cheese and cheddar. So we need 2 cups total. So I'm going to first start and fill up my measuring cup with the mozzarella because I don't have that much left. And then I'm going to use the cheddar. So the mozzarella gives it a nice gooey texture, and then the cheddar gives it a nice flavor. so it's a good balance. Okay, so there's about 1 cup, so we're going to pour that in, and then we're going to fill this up one more time to get our 2 cups. Oh, we're going to use all of this. Okay, there we go. Okay, next we will need also 1 tablespoon of flour. I already pre-measured this, but I'm going to try to scoop it all up in here. Okay, that's good. So we're going to sprinkle that around. You'll need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And again, you don't want to pour it right over your bowl because you could mess up. And there's no way to get that salt out. So I'm just going to do this over this measuring cup. Okay, and then I'm going to shake it to make sure I don't have too much. Okay, and then I'm going to sprinkle it around. Now with the pepper, because I have a pepper grinder, if you're going to use like regular pepper out the can, you can use a 1/8 teaspoon. But because I have this grinder, I'm just going to turn it like 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that looks great. Okay, now we are ready to, we can whisk or stir. I'm going to use the whisk. You just stir and get all your ingredients combined. This is looking good. And it's got some nice pretty colors. We've got orange, green, and then some brown from the bacon. Okay, now we're going to go over to the stove. We're going to pour this in the pre-baked shell that we just took out the oven. And then we're going to bake it longer to get all these ingredients to cook. Okay, so we have our quiche batter. So I'm just going to pour this in, or mixture. It is going to overflow out of the sides of the crust, and that is okay. I'm going to get a spoon out of here. Or am I going to get a fork? Or a knife? That's okay. Something to get all this delicious goodness out. You want to spread this around. You see how it's like a big mountain in the middle? So you want to flatten this out. So I am just going to smear. Okay, this knife works very well. That was intentional. You're going to spread this around so it's pretty even. It's flat. There's not like big mounds of any ingredient. And then this will go in the oven. And this will bake about 30 to 40 minutes. And I reduced the temperature down to 350 so it does not burn. So you don't have to cover it with tin foil anymore. So now I'm going to put it in and we're going to bake it. Quiche is done. It took about 40 minutes. You'll know it's done if you take a knife and just stick the tip of the knife in the middle of the quiche. And if it comes out, it can come out maybe a little greasy, but it's not wet and juicy or slimy from the egg. You'll also know it's done because it's got a nice golden brown top and the edges are a little bit golden brown. So this quiche is done. It's super hot though, so you probably want to wait at least 5 to 10 minutes, let it cool down, and you can slice it up. You can think of this as like, this is like a savory breakfast. You can have it for brunch time, which is between breakfast and lunch, or you can even have it for dinner. So you can think of this as like a breakfast pizza, but there's no sauce, but you can use all different kinds of stuff in here. You can use mushrooms, peppers, you could do the breakfast sausage, and anything that you want to your liking. You can put chicken in here, or you can have no meat at all. So it's totally up to you. Olives, that's another one. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this cooking lesson with Cooking with Mama Bear. And don't forget, stay and look while you cook.